we are the most average team who cannot beat average teams, but we can beat one of the best teams. I'm Josh. This is Wingscast.
I'm Chris, and we're gonna talk about the last 7 days for the Wings here, the good and the bad. Um, Basically, we're talking about Buffalo, Vegas, Edmonton, and the Caps, Washington. Good week. It was a good week. It was better than we thought it was going to be, so we were wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. It started off bad with Buffalo. That was a 2-0 game until the third period, middle of the second. You could
Yeah,
definitely
we
see the
called
mo
that a
change.
loss. We called
I
that a
think we
loss.
did, yeah. So it was the game was so poorly played by us that first half of the game. Something clicked when we came out of the locker room. I think in the third period. It was I believe Nedeljkovic was in that, and he was pivotal in that game. And then the big guys coming out, which just happened to be two Calder finalists. Um, Fun fact: three Calder finalists: Nedeljkovic, Sider, and Raymond this year.
You think they're all going to be the finalists?
I looked at the rankings today. I'm just going by what ESPN says.
Okay, it's
So
exciting. It's exciting. The good from that Sabres game, best thing of the season so far, the OT winner. That was awesome.
that was insane. Who scored that?
Who do you think scored that? That was
Was that Raymond?
No, that was Sider's goal, remember?
Oh, yeah, you went far side right there. What a
Yeah.
play, though, coming
He
down the boards like that and then faking a defenseman, as big as he is, pretty much look off. Was that Darlene? I don't know. I wasn't. I think it was
No, it
T.
wasn't, but he pushed off and then, I mean, just that reach to be able to, change the angle on the goal and put it far side was great.
Well, he made it look so easy. The
Oh,
thing
yeah,
was,
it looked like
great
a
play by
joke.
Bertuzzi on
Yeah,
the back check, by the way. Thompson had scored. H. Thompson had scored earlier in that game, and so they came back, made the power move. Bertuzzi comes in, knocks it away to the boards, and then they're off. And then Sider gets possession, makes the turn, looks him off, and pretty much scores what he made look like a really easy goal from a kind of a harder angle. So kind of a veteran play, honestly.
yeah, it was fantastic. Um, I don't know, the bad from that game, just probably the first 2 periods, right? They weren't looking good.
It was pitiful. It was hard to watch. I don't know what was said in the locker room. It was definitely something said in the locker room. And ice time changed a little bit too. Blashill went towards Raymond a little bit more, and Sider probably picked up a good portion of ice time at that point too. Well, we know he's going to get 20 plus a night, so
Yeah.
for him to come out, and I think he almost had 30 that night.
I think it was like
Uh,
26, 27 with the OT, I don't know. It was really
yeah,
high, though. It was fantastic.
good. He's young, so big move. Good call by Blash on that one.
Go.
Who else we got?
We got Vegas. I don't know, you wanna talk about that? What's the good
Good
and the
in
bad?
that game. Let's see here. Who was in net on that one?
I don't even I don't even know, to be honest with you. I didn't get
This
to
is what I don't like about it. Nobody gets a little bit of a groove. Obviously, Nedeljkovic is the best out of it, just from stats wise. It's not by much, but it's like probably 35 basis points that he's better. But the big thing that he does better than anyone, obviously, is playing the puck. Touches everything, and the great thing about that is that he's another defenseman. So that Turco, basically.
people always thought, like, it was the Mrazek Howard debate, great debate, long-standing rivalry.
Yep.
Um, but everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, Mrazek gets in, Mrazek plays the puck, gives the guys a chance," right? Mrazek was not anywhere near on this level of moving the puck. Ned touches everything. It's almost bit him once or twice already, but against, like, that Letty goal, he was already out of the net. It was kind of a mess. That's the only one that really bit him. But at the same time, it makes such a big difference breaking out the puck. That really, I think he should be the starter at this point. I don't think Grice is. I don't think Grice is bad. He's a great backup, but at this point, I think you ride Ned.
Right, Ned. Yeah. Well, everything that goes off the boards too. I mean, we're not talking about. I mean, the glass. Everything that comes off the glass, he's touching too. So he's knocking it down, doing something, and he keeps the play going too, which kind of catches people off guard, especially in OT. And I think another one that we're probably missing. was probably the most underrated player in teams, Nemesnikov. Um,
Well, the Mezikov was
Massive.
bad last year, right? So
He was
he's got to
terrible.
redeem himself.
He is. He does. But as we'll
I
talk
mean,
about,
he
he
doesn't owe
kind
us
of picked it
anything.
up.
I don't want to be that person, but
No, definitely
from a
not.
fan perspective, like you had to pick it up. You had to do something. You were bad last year. Come on.
He was. And Burt with his still continuing with his tear. He's leading the team in goals,
Yeah,
points in
he's shooting at
general.
like 35% right now.
He's a. I mean, he's not a sniper. He takes those high percentage shots. He plays very basic hockey, and he's in that back check play against Buffalo.
Oh yeah, it's
That
fantastic
that was
play.
huge. That was huge. He's willing to do it. So I think he kind of got the message last year when he was. The talk was he was up on the trading block. So really good to see him break out
And then after Vegas, you moved to what was probably the best game of the year for the
by far.
Wings was the Oilers. This game was fantastic.
It was fun to watch. The thing was, is you always kind of I had a pit in my stomach. Somebody's gonna break this wide open, and we're just holding on for dear life, and that's exactly what it was, really. A funny story. I think it was the game before us. Was it again when they played against Pittsburgh or somebody? They went down 2-0, and Draisaitl skated by
Those are
Pittsburgh's
Rangers. Those are the
was the
Rangers.
Rangers skated by their bench. Was like, "Don't worry, boys, it's coming." And then,
And
of
it
course, they
did.
rattle
It
off.
did.
Yeah,
It
it
came.
did. It
Uh
did. And but didn't come against us, thankfully. Larkin with a pretty much a what is that, a birthday gift or
yeah,
whatever the
off
hell
of
you want to call it.
whoever that goalie was. It was like their third string goalie. I don't remember
Skinner.
his name. Skinner, that's
Skinner.
right. Yeah.
Skinner.
Yeah, that was a gift. But in that one again, Ned was very good. Um
Playing the puck every single time.
yep. And then I mean he lets in that McDavid goal. This might be some of the bad of that game. That McDavid goal was a little soft, but when McDavid's on, right in front of you, you don't know what he's going to do, right? The body language doesn't give anything away. Opened him up, went 5-hole. Um, kind of a soft goal, but he, he made it up the rest of the night. Ned played very well. Especially, you want to talk about the bad too, was just like the third period turtle again. I don't know what
Yeah,
you
I
want to
noticed
call
that
it,
too.
but they had the lead, and that's all they tried to do. They went back to this. They went back to the stretch pass offense, which has never worked in the last 2 or 3 years. So, maybe one day it will. That's what they're going for. But I don't like it. I don't like when they do that. When you've got the lead, you're just throwing possession away over and over again against a team that they're gonna make you pay. And
Yeah,
it got wild in the later third. Like there were some really close calls, going down. I mean, the empty net made the score look better, but it was
that was a
dicey
one goal
there.
game. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
one goal game. So the thing about that is like you get in the third period, they went to a neutral zone 1-2-2 trap. Like, what the hell are we doing? So we're gonna let McDavid wind up, get to the neutral zone, and then he's gonna drop it off the dry side and go straight to the net. That's typically the play, right? That's exactly what they did, and it cost us dearly. If we would have just kept our matchups, because we surprisingly match up really well with that team, speed wise, and because we're one younger, Larkin's fast, he can keep up with McDavid, but the big the big challenge there was Sider and Kaiser were on a line together playing against that top line, and then they were running Rass's line against him too. So they tried
Yeah.
to get as long as possible against him.
I thought Rast did pretty well in that game. Against again, he has no offense whatsoever, but defensively he's really coming along.
Yeah, well,
He's
he
got
can't win defensive zone faceoffs. That's the biggest issue.
well, the whole team can't win a faceoff very well. I think every game we've seen over the last few is we're below 50%. So eventually that's going to bite us. If it were the playoffs, that would kill you. So, you
That's
know,
power play. That goes back to power play penalty kills because you really don't practice faceoffs until what usually then to practice, and that's usually your special teams time. So I, maybe that's something Tanguay is going to work on. It hasn't gotten better, which is the concern because late in games like that, when we play teams like Edmonton, Colorado, and some of these higher skilled teams coming up the stretch, um, especially in the Western Conference, they are going to hammer us. Hammer us. We could be up to nothing. Doesn't matter. They're going to score 5 goals in the third because we can't win a faceoff.
well, the good news is if we're playing a Western Conference team in the playoffs, we got to the final. So,
I'm fine with it.
again, you take the good with the bad. Uh, Caps game was, I don't want to say it was ugly. Um, but there was one. If you want to take a bad out of that game, it was 10 seconds in the first. Wow, is that a
Yeah,
bad 10 seconds?
it. I are you talking about the shot to the?
We're talking the two goals just back to back, right? I mean, just
It,
I mean within
yeah.
10 seconds. I mean, it was just terrible. Like
Well, when
you came out flying, you came out with the energy. They bring it back. They scored two, and that was it. The energy went
that's
out the
all it was.
sails, and they were overpassing. I mean, the offense wasn't there. They weren't shooting, and they made a guy who his first NHL start gave him a shutout.
After
So
being drafted 8 years ago.
yeah, so not a good
So
look.
not a good look. We
But
can't have this though.
3 out of 4. I mean, you got to take it, right? It's more than we thought. We thought that Vegas game was, winnable. We didn't think they'd win against the Oilers or the Caps. So I guess it's good that we can actually start complaining that they aren't winning. I'll take that as a good.
I'll take it as a good too, but we can't let up on the gas pedal here. All right, we need to go into Thanksgiving full throttle. That Thanksgiving to Christmas stretch right there, that's going to be the biggest stretch of the year because that's that we start getting into Western Conference a little bit. Start playing some teams that we probably see we're going to see later in the year. So first time seeing these teams, we need to beat them,
Yeah,
and
you'll get
then
what? You get
adjust from
Seattle here
there.
pretty soon, and you get some others. I don't really have a whole lot to say about the Caps game. I think it was a winnable game. They just maybe their legs were tired. It was 4 games in 6 nights, I think. So not
Yeah,
ideal, maybe.
that they had an optional skate that morning, so I wonder how many guys were out there.
I know
At that point, you
they
shut it
said
down.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know some of them did because I was just watching on Twitter who was out there. Um, they gave some guys a maintenance day on what day was that? That was so it was day before they gave them maintenance day. Um,
Yeah,
but anyway, so look, brief look next week, this week. I don't know, starting Saturday,
yeah.
home against just the Titans of the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens.
Who we've played 3 times in a month.
Yeah, would this be the third time in a month? Yeah, but um, there's just
The hell's up with this
the
schedule?
the best team in the Atlantic, of course.
Of course.
Um,
Bergevin's out, I'm sure. Yeah, they ain't re-signed him, so I don't know where that team's direction is.
well, they're going to beat us probably, right? I mean, that's got to be a game you got to win here eventually, right? I mean, they're
They
not
do.
good,
They're
but
not at all. No, just watching the hockey, it's all choppy. It's what we looked like last year.
yeah. Then you go at Columbus, they're kind of in the same place we are. They're a team that was supposed to be at the bottom. They're looking pretty decent. I don't know if that's necessarily a winnable game. We don't usually play well in Columbus lately. I don't know why that is.
Well, we can't beat Patrick Laine for some reason. I don't know why. The guy looks as creepy as he looks. We can. I don't know if it's because he's creepy or what. He kills us every single time. We can't beat Winnipeg. We can't beat Columbus because of Laine.
Then at Dallas, who I think they've got some people on COVID protocol. I don't.
Yeah,
I
that
might be
team's
wrong
kind of
about
in
that.
shambles right now. I think that's another team that's a winnable game. I think that's a winnable game. You take these two right here and then squeak out one in Vegas, maybe get a point in Vegas, and then you're going into Arizona for
Arizona
eight
should be a
o'clock
win, but
game.
that's the following week. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah,
So what do you think? You got 4 games here: Montreal, Columbus, Dallas, Vegas. Predictions.
I think we win Montreal, we lose Columbus, win Dallas, and win Vegas.
You're going 3 or 4.
We're going 3 or 4 again.
I'm thinking. I think we beat Montreal at home. I think we win in Columbus. I think we lose the next two. I think we lose on the back to back, and then I think Vegas at home is kind of tough with the crowd. And I seen some stats earlier in this week, like the home team's winning like all the time right now. I don't know why. It's like 65-70% right now. It's somewhere in there. It's crazy.
Well, you got to look at scheduling again on that, right? Scheduling's awful. This is awful.
The
Columbus to Dallas. Who the hell? You take that
Yeah, I
Dallas
guess you're
game up
going
there
south. You're
and you
kind of
push it to the 22nd. That's all you got to do. I mean, I'm just looking at it right now. I mean, you move that Dallas game, or even if you keep the Dallas game, move the Columbus game because that gives you 2 days travel to Dallas. Whoever did the schedule, I don't know if they just threw it in a hat and be like, yeah, here, but it's not good. Columbus to Dallas trip
NHL
back
has
to
always
back.
been bad at scheduling. I wish they would have went to like the baseball schedule like they kind of talked about. I think that would have been a fun schedule.
That
You
makes
play
sense.
you play like 3
AHL does
games
it.
against, yeah, the AHL does. The AHL doesn't have travel concerns, right? Like, so they don't have to pay all the money in travel.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, my whole problem with the NHL scheduling is they can't keep teams even like close together in amount of games played. Like after 14 games, we were like one of 3 teams that had played 14. There was like a team who'd only played 9. It's like how do you get a team that's like 33% behind right now?
Well,
Like
then you ask the question of preseason. Preseason was too long this year.
preseason's always too long. The
Way
Wings
too
like it
long.
because they make the season ticket holders play or pay for the preseason. Like it's required, which is I wouldn't do. Well, I guess I
Oh,
don't do
jeez.
so. But anyways, yeah, the Wings just love that. I think preseason's junk. You might get maybe 2 games to get some guys warmed up or something. These guys are practicing. It's not like this
Yeah.
isn't like back in like the 80s where the guys were drinking beer all summer and you had to remind them like, yeah, guys, we play hockey. Like we got to get going here. Like it just doesn't exist anymore.
No,
So,
it doesn't. It doesn't. The these guys are basically training year round. They take probably 2 weeks off, and then they're back in it, right? The
yeah.
good ones are, at least. Um, so maybe do the prospect tournament, then 3 preseason games, and then jump right into the season.
Yeah, I'd like if they had a little bit earlier start, like, 1st of October type thing. But that's a topic for another time.
Yep,
I think we're out of time.
yep.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Helps us out. And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.